Whether you don't even know where the gym is, or maybe it's your first week, or you had one of those friends that just had to pull you into class, or maybe you're the type that you're a gym god, we've got a little bit of everything for you. Welcome to Trainer Talk. Let's get to work.
It only has to be hard for the 24 seconds you're under tension.
Right.
Give me everything you got, the 24 seconds, and we can take a minute between and bullshit.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
But when you get under that or get on that machine, it's all up here what them people want to do, and you gotta. That 24 seconds is so valuable, and it has to be. You can take 45 seconds. I don't care.
Right.
It can take a minute. I don't care. But that's where your focus should be.
Right.
Like
one thing that Kevin Kutz does differently than everybody else. What have you learned? Is it the 2 shots of alcohol the night before?
No. It's the 4 eggs and the bowl of oatmeal every stinking morning.
No matter what.
No matter what. I haven't competed in almost 10 years. I still get up in the morning and I still feel like that bodybuilder you see on Facebook that's scrambling in his eggs, getting his breakfast ready.
Right.
I'm up an hour and a half before I have to leave for work. It is absolutely necessary for me and my body type to put this in.
Yeah.
I'm talking, close to 600 calories for breakfast,
right.
And it's consistency of doing it over and over and over. It's just consistency. If you can, even on your worst days, if you can still pull it out, you're going to make gains.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to get that furnace started, like you always say.
And you got to mentally get this in your head that this is who you are.
Right.
This is who you are.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been for 30 plus years,
right.
That's my main thing. You got to be consistent. Back in the day, I never missed a workout.
Right. You got to start those habits and keep those habits, right?
Even I would pick up little bad habits on the way to the gym too. After I ate, before I went to the gym, it would be a couple pieces of chocolate. Well, if I had to switch that and not have any chocolate, it took a while, but I got to the gym without the chocolate.
Right,
right. when I needed not to have chocolate, but. Again, it was watching the guys I worked with were smart people. I mean, every guy I worked with from when I first started working in the weight room, and they were not PTs, they weren't,
right.
Personal trainers to be, but they turned, 3 of them turned out to be, and they're smart. I mean, they run gyms. A lot of it was trial and error. I did a lot of wrong things.
Yeah.
I did a lot of smart things. But again, it's to adjust your mental. Like I said, to this day, I get up and I still feel like that bodybuilder in the kitchen,
right.
getting my morning eggs ready. I have a routine. It puts yourself in perspective. It's like, this is what I do. This is how I have to approach my day. Otherwise, if I can't, and there's been times you oversleep or something, not too often, but my whole day is shot. But your average 55-year-old guy, weight training like a bodybuilder, and I'm not talking supersets, compound sets, or anything.
You're not talking
like
to get
this.
the biggest they possibly can.
No, we're talking about to get general fitness and to balance it all out.
Yeah, and over the years, you've always talked about when you were on stage, or when you see somebody on stage, you can tell right away, they train their left side more than their right side. They do too many pushes, not enough pulls.
Exactly.
And for any general client, athletes, whatever, we can agree if they're imbalanced, they're not going to feel good.
No.
Right.
Things hurt.
Yeah. And that's what you're getting at when you say.
There's a lot of guys. Well, look at Mo out there.
Yeah. Right.
Mo, my shoulder hurts. It's like, well, everything is so buffed up here.
Right.
What's your core muscles, like your infraspinatus, your supraspinatus? Are those as strong as that they're supposed to be to support the big delts and the muscles that are outside of it? If you can keep those types of muscles strong,
Yeah.
and that's very lightweight.
Right.
It's not
but beautiful movements. It's not as
Yeah.
sexy to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
but you got to put these things into your program too, you know.
And we agree that, I mean, you work with women too. So, I mean, we used a 55-year-old man as an example. The word bodybuilding or phrase bodybuilding to women is the scariest thing ever because they immediately think, oh, I'm going to be huge. But that's not what you're getting. When you say building, you're definitely talking about just like chipping away at that marble, making that perfect statue.
Add a sheet of paper there, or you know.
I always call you the Michelangelo because not only are you a pro bodybuilder, but you're just like, let's work a little extra rear delt today. Let's work a little extra hamstring today because it just doesn't look like it's catching up. And that's something that if they don't work with you, they don't get. They don't get that eye of yours.
Exactly.
And that's the coolest thing is over the years when you're like, I think you need to do more back, or I think, you know what, maybe we need to add one more chest exercise on a Thursday because I just don't see it happening for
maybe we should change the way you pull that bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we should, you know.
You mean I can't Google it and just, it says pull downs? It says do 8 pull downs and I can just do it however I want?
No, you Google that stuff because there's 1,000 guys out there that think they know what they're doing.
But don't have
I know very few trainers that have come through here that actually knew what the hell they were doing. I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest trainer, but it's just science, and it's if this doesn't look right, there's something wrong. You know, and you've taught me things too. It's like, why did my back cramp up on the left side underneath my shoulder blade, but you massaged the lower right part of my rib and the cramp is gone.
Yeah.
Why does that happen? Well, Joe Blow doesn't know that.
Right. And no book really describes that either. So no post, because we can take practical information and just be like, okay, this is what it says, but you are able to unpack that a little further. Like, oh, this specific thing isn't going to work for you, Mrs. Jones, because blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's 30 years of
experience.
experience.
Especially, going through the aging process, which, if you're consistent, it's not going to take you long to be in this business for 30 years.
Right.
It's not going to take you long to figure out that, if those hips are slightly tilted, what's causing that? You have muscle slings that run from this side down to this side, and that's why does this cramp and the massage is down here again.
Right.
It's those types of trigger points and things, and people don't know that.
Right.
And if you don't work with a trainer, how the heck do you know what's going on? I surprised Brian last Friday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my knee. God, every time I take a step with I get a pain in there. I said, really? So I walked down and I just knelt down and I
felt around.
I said, my God, he says, oh yeah, I got a lot of scar tissue there. He says, it's a hamstring injury. And I rubbed that for about 2 minutes. And I said, what happened? It's gone.
Right. And this is a trainer, right? And
he's a trainer.
Right.
Yeah.
And not all trainers know. And again, you come from a perspective where you look through one filter. He looks through a different filter.
Exactly.
So when it comes to, well, why does my knee hurt? That's not really his game. His game is more of the nutrition side, and is being your friend type. And you are always laughing, and I can hear your laugh from across the way because you're always joking around and having a good time too. But you're also more of here's our plan today. Here's how we're going to work it. But I also admire you have a plan when people are coming in and they say, oh, I'm having this problem. Okay, let's tweak that plan.
That's the issue, yeah.
Yeah, where so many people, they get into that mindset, today's chest day, that means I have to bench. I have to do this. Where you're like, you know what, we don't have to use a bar, maybe we'll use dumbbells today.
Yeah,
or
we'll do a push-up.
Push-ups instead. We can tweak it, and you're always modifying for everybody. You're not the type of trainer, and I've seen this over the years, where they have 8 clients in a day and they do the same workout for 8 people. I don't know if I've ever seen you repeat that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You know the people. But I've never seen you do that. I've never seen you repeat a workout unless that was part of the plan where, hey, this Monday we're going to do last Monday's workout because we want to try to push 5 extra pounds.
Exactly.
Or we want to progress in some way, shape, or form. Even though it's the same structure and same
exactly.
reps.
It's the same muscle groups. It's
in
maybe
the same
we'll start
order.
with the lower part of the back,
right,
or the upper part of the back, but it's going to change.
Right.
We've got several different machines that you can do a lat pull down 6, 8, 10 different ways out there.
Right.
which is the best way.
But right, exactly. And for each person's body, it's different.
Exactly,
Limb length, arm
exactly.
length, how do they contract? But Google is going to say pull downs.
Yeah.
Google isn't going to say we have 12 different pull down machines.
I know, and then there's 18 different ways you can do them on each machine.
Right.
So what's... Yeah.
And my favorite is on, especially pull downs, when you're facing the other direction with the V bar, pulling it down to your chest. I would have never thought to turn around. You know, as simple as that is, when you sit under those pads and you pull it to... I'd have never thought to turn around.
So easy to cheat.
Yeah. Oh, it so is.
So easy to cheat that way.
Yeah.
I've seen a lady this morning. She had a little trouble grabbing the weights, and she added some more weight on the Life Fitness flat pull. And this elderly lady with just perfect form.
Beautiful.
Perfect form. But she's working with Trevor.
Yeah. Right.
I said, the problem is, I says, if that bar goes too far, I says, you've got the same muscle groups that are supposed to pull doing different things.
Right.
I says, you get that bar below your chest, or your upper chest.
Yep.
I says, now the traps are going to go up to
Right.
pull it.
And you're turning it into a push, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You're pushing down while you're pulling with your lats.
I see that all the time.
Oh, it's
on exercise.
So that's
where
why you
people
turn
go too
around.
far. Yep.
So that's why you turn around, because you can't push that bar out in front of you.
Especially on pull downs, I see it all the time. Or on rows too. People somehow turn it into a sit up because they're rounding and pulling.
Look at a pull up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at a pull up, they look like a C shape instead of a S shape.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And you've always been a stickler for form, which makes you great when it does come to, let's say a 70-year-old person comes in, has bad knees, bad hips, things like that. Because you are so a stickler for form, it doesn't hurt them, right?
No, because when you, like I said, this whole aging thing, and it happens to everybody. So it's a pain-free range of motion. If somebody's 70 years old and they can't pull that bar, and that's as far as it goes. That's as far as it goes.
Right.
But
again, so many people,
eventually they may be able to go past that and do what they can.
Right.
But again, it's a pain. The longer they've been sedentary and haven't done these things, the worse things are sometimes.
And the more they need somebody like you, where you're going to be a stickler, because if they're thinking, I have to get this bar to my chest, the human body is going to do whatever it takes to get it there. That's what's so crazy about it, is you'll cheat every chance you get. But if you don't have somebody like you where it's like, let's go a little less range of motion, but hey, we can load this range of motion quite a bit if you'd like, until your body gets to the point where you can go further.
I'm certified in those things, you know.
I know you are. But there are plenty of people you work with that don't care about size. They just want the consistency that you have.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And that's, it should be a fun thing to do. Right. You know, the guys I trained with, like I said, they were so smart, but God, did we have a good time.
Right.
My gosh.
Which is why you're always laughing too, because that's part of it.
That's what I come to the gym for.
Right.
It was, I work 10-hour days.
Right.
I trained, hour and a half a night, 4 days a week. Took the kids with me when they were little.
Yeah.
We all had a good time doing it, so.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you took what was then your passion, still is, and turned it into your job. You took your hobby and turned it into your career.
That's what I wanted to do.
Exactly. You always have something to bring to the table, and because you do this not for the money, but because you care, you're willing to share. You guys have been my personal trainers this whole time. Certainly, I come to it with a different perspective, but we all do, and I have different goals in mind. We all do. But I can take deloads and water cuts and all these things from you over the years, and nutrition, and why maybe I'm not seeing results because I don't have a structured plan. I don't have an idea of where I should be in 6 months. I don't have a plan of, how are you going to build off of this week? And when is it time to take a week off? And when is it time to change the order of your exercises or change how many reps you're doing? And over the years, you're the one who taught me all that.
Just because I do things, I'm not going to make my clients do things.
Right.
It's going to be damn close.
For sure.
I'm going to tell you it's going to be close.
It's going to be hard. I mean, you have to train, quote unquote, hard. But it doesn't have to be devastating.
It only has to be hard for the 24 seconds you're under tension.